shift where nobody walks away.
With Alert Day coverage now, this is Wave News.
A road rage incident leaves a family traumatized and the driver allegedly responsible hospitalized with a gunshot wound.
We're now getting a first-hand account of the violent encounter. This is Wave News at 6. I'm John Boel.
And I'm Myra Ansari. This all happened Wednesday in the Wyandotte neighborhood as a man was driving his 3 young granddaughters to school.
For the first time, that grandfather is telling his story. He talked about his family's experience with Wave News reporter David Mattingly.
And he describes a terrifying turn of events, John. The grandfather believes if he hadn't taken extreme measures to protect his family, then this road rage encounter, he says, could have turned out much worse for him and his granddaughters.
This is where he caught me going down Taylor on this side. They started hitting the side of the car.
It was the beginning of a 10-minute nightmare. A grandfather taking his 3 granddaughters to school becomes the target of dangerous road rage.
He was trying to kill me. I mean, we're right here, and he rammed that car 3 times. We're with me trying to get out of it.
The grandfather, not wanting to be identified, tells a story of violence and extreme fear as he and his granddaughters are chased from Taylor Boulevard into the Wyandotte neighborhood. Damage to his minivan shows evidence of being rammed on both sides. One impact so strong, according to the police report, the van almost flipped over. His only thought, he says, was to get his granddaughters, twins, age 10 and a 9-year-old, to safety.
You're panicking.
Yeah.
What's happening to your granddaughters?
They're it's screaming and terror. Terror. I mean, that's absolute terror. That's all that was coming from those screams in that car. Terror.
Did you think your life was in danger?
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
And theirs?
And theirs, yeah. And theirs. There was nothing but rage.
Attempting to escape, he jumped curbs, leaving all of his tires flat. He fired multiple shots as his van eventually came to a halt where the ramming continued.
I know I hear at least 3 times, and then I had to shoot through the windshield because he kept ramming my car.
In 30 years of carrying a firearm, the grandfather says this is the first time he ever had to use it. And it was a decision he did not make lightly in front of the children he was trying to protect.
That trauma in their voice just had me, in a panic mode. Like I was worried for them seeing any kind of violence, period. And especially with me with a weapon to defend myself, and there's a lot of factors involved there. People can get hurt.
And one of the shots wounded the driver, ending the rampage, but not the trauma to a grandfather and 3 young girls who left the house that morning, wanting only to have a safe ride to school. And the incident left the grandfather more than just shaken up. It also left him, for now, unemployed. The van was his sole source of transportation and his mobile workshop. He says while he's grateful that everyone came out of this okay, he still doesn't know where the money might come from for repairs. Reporting live, David Mattingly, Wave News.
Wow, thank you so much, David. All right, well, hold on to something strong because it is incredibly windy out there. Look at those flags just kind of whipping around outside.
Hey, if your derby hat can hold up in this wind, you are set for life,
yes,
right?
That is a good hat, for
so
sure.
much wind, we have an alert day on this. Let's get more details right now with Ryan.
Yeah, derby hat testing environment. Never thought of it that way. But here's the deal, guys. We do have this alert day until midnight due to these gusty winds. Wind gusts in excess of 40 miles per hour have happened today, and we'll keep that potential going for at least a few more hours here. You'll notice a 35-mile-per-hour wind gust now at the Louisville Muhammad Ali International Airport. That's 5 miles per hour higher than last hour. That's why we got to keep that alert day going here. Frankfurt right now, 36-mile-per-hour gust. That's the strongest we have as of this hour. The wind advisory for all 34 of our counties, that continues through midnight tonight, and so does our alert day. Hey, at least it's warm, right? Temperatures right now in the mid-60s. We're at 66 here in Louisville, coming off of a 67-degree high temperature today. Why is it so windy? Well, you have to look to our north. Not only do they have some of the strongest wind gusts across parts of northern Illinois and Iowa, but the area of low pressure responsible for all of this is across parts of northern Michigan now, getting ready to head toward areas near Traverse City. The reason for the wind is because of the pressure difference between this strong low pressure to our north and some of the higher pressure to our south. So as we head throughout the overnight hours, the winds will eventually start to slacken up. We'll see clear skies, and notice temperatures get back down into the 30s tonight. We've got cold air moving in behind a cold front that's being ushered in by that area of low pressure I just told you about. Now, the weather gets even more active next week. In fact, we've got 2 wave weather alert days for Tuesday into Wednesday. We'll talk more about the severe weather and heavy rain potential for both days in just a few minutes, guys.
All right, thanks, Brian. Tonight, we're hearing for the first time from people who knew the 29-year-old woman who was one of 3 shot and killed at the Valley Station DMV last week. The woman leaves behind her husband and 2 young children.
Wave News reporter Fernando Garcia-Francischini joins us to share more on who she was and how you can help support the family.
John, Myra, people close to the family tell me Raisa Pacios Valdez was at the Valley Station driver's license office getting her real ID. It was one of the things she needed to do in the process to become a U.S. citizen. But it all came to a stop when she and 2 others were shot and killed outside the DMV a week ago today. Raisa leaves behind her husband, Abel, and 2 boys ages 7 and 2. I spoke today with Sean Dixon, a co-worker and friend of Raisa's husband. He described the couple as hardworking parents who would do anything for their children.
They're always, taking their boys out to have fun and explore the city. And so, just a family that is very driven to do better for themselves.
In an effort to help them out, Sean and his partner Catherine have created a GoFundMe for the family. They say the money raised will go towards covering funeral expenses, meals, and securing childcare so Abel can return to work. Sean tells me he will get to see Abel for the first time since the shooting this evening, and he's looking forward to hugging him and being there for him. That GoFundMe has already raised more than $3,300. You can find a link to the campaign with this story on wave3.com. Meanwhile, police are still searching for the shooter. Fernando Garcia-Francischini, Wave News.
Fernando, thank you. Still to come tonight at Wave News at 6. The only social security office serving a large part of Kentucky could be closing soon. We'll have the reason why and how people are reacting.
Local news and weather at 7 p.m. This newscast is sponsored by Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm. Now, Wave News.
The Social Security office in Campbellsville could close in just a matter of days after a decision by Elon Musk's Department of Government Efficiency to terminate the office's lease.
The closure will leave many residents without ready access to essential government services. Wave troubleshooter Ward Jollis was in Campbellsville looking for answers.
We found out this morning via Facebook that they were going to be closing, and I'm not happy about it.
Rebecca York and her family from Greene County already drive half an hour to get to the Social Security office in Campbellsville.
It's harder to get to further away places when you have low income.
So they were shocked to hear the office would soon be forced to close by the federal government to save about $290,000 a year.
For people like Mom that have disabilities, they should not shut this place down, because that just seems like pure torture.
In fact, every person we talked to at this branch Friday had the same opinion.
Impact. Taking one away from a small town like this, that's going to have a huge impact, and it's not going to be good.
The Campbellsville office appearing on a list of hundreds of government leases set to be terminated by Elon Musk's Department of Government Efficiency, or DOGE, along with 4 other locations in Kentucky we have now confirmed are set to be terminated too, including another Social Security office and a mine safety office in Hazard, and the Small Business Administration and the Farm Service Agency, both in Lexington.
I have never seen anything like it.
Bill Broderick is a representative for the building owner, who also owns those 2 Hazard offices set to close too. And those aren't the only leases being terminated.
We've had 8 leases, not just at Social Security offices, but at a mine safety office in Hazard, Kentucky, and also BIA offices in Oklahoma and Wisconsin.
He says the Campbellsville office is set to close within the next 30 days. We aren't allowed to film inside this building because that's federal law, but we did speak with the employees inside who told us they don't know what's going to happen here. And we also called the judge executive after that. He told us he doesn't know either.
And I'm aware of it, and I'm on top of the issue, but I still I've not got confirmation yet for sure on this.
Why do you think the government would want to shut down this office and leave these people without this?
I don't know.
The secrecy and uncertainty of the imminent closure leaves many residents like York feeling helpless and unsure of what they'll do once this government lifeline gets cut off.
Some of them can't hardly get around. How are they going to get around to get other places?
Yeah.
It's hard for them to get here.
In Campbellsville, Ward Jollis, Wave News.
We also reached out to Congressman James Comer, who represents this area. He never responded to our calls or emails.
One wave weather alert day in progress for wind this evening. 2 more to come due to severe weather potential. We've got the details on what you need to know for next week and beyond.
This is a tough time of year because we just tasted 70-degree weather and we flipped the calendar over to March this weekend, yet sometimes you can't really go there just yet for spring.
Sometimes winter's got to just hold on just a little longer, Ryan.
Yeah, it's the problem. You can't keep the warmth, right? We'd love to, but unfortunately, it is still technically winter until we get to about mid-next month. And because of all the active weather that we have in the region, we've got this alert day until midnight, the active weather being the wind gusts up to and exceeding 40 miles per hour at times due to an area of low pressure to our north in the Great Lakes, creating a big pressure difference between us and them. You'll notice 34 counties right now under a wind advisory. That's all of our counties through about midnight tonight. Now, while the wind gusts may start to recede somewhat after sunset, we're going to keep that alert day going until we think and until we are confident those 40-plus mile per hour gusts are done. We don't think they're quite done yet because we've just gusted in Frankfort to 36 miles per hour, here in Louisville to 35 miles per hour, getting pretty close to that 40 mile per hour designation for both the alert day and, of course, the wind advisory. So once we get toward about midnight or so, that's that's when we are definitely going to see those wind gusts fall well under 40 miles per hour, and we'll wake up tomorrow morning to about a 15 to 20 mile per hour gust. So still a breezy Saturday, but not as bad as today. We have 2 more wave weather alert days for next week, Tuesday and Wednesday, due to severe weather potential. More on those here in just a moment's time. Let's get you outside right now with our SkyTrack camera in downtown Louisville. Nice to see the sun still up the first quarter here of the 6 o'clock hour. Current temperature 66 degrees. We haven't had a whole lot of cloud cover today, and that's part of the reason why the wind gusts were such a problem. Allowed the atmosphere to mix itself up and channel some of those wind gusts down to ground level. 67 was the high today, 39 the low this morning. Maximum wind gust here in Louisville was 43 miles per hour. As we zoom out, you'll notice a band of clouds to our north. What is this? This is a front that's going to be moving in our direction overnight, giving us that cold air for tomorrow morning. That cold front is attached to the area of low pressure I just mentioned up toward the Great Lakes. It's pretty strong, but it's creating that pressure difference between there and here, giving us the gusty winds that we have right now. Overnight tonight, we will see temperatures dipping down to 36 behind the cold front I just talked to you about. We'll see temperatures only bounce back to 42 tomorrow. Yeah, we can't keep the warmth, can we? 38 will be the high in some outer rural areas here in wave country away from the city. Not a pleasant Saturday. And Sunday still pretty cool too. High temperature 41 degrees. Yikes. Now, we do start to improve on the temperature department by Monday with 52, but by Tuesday and Wednesday, with that warmth returning in the 60s, we, of course, have wave weather alert days due to a strong storm system that will capitalize on that warm, moist air and potentially propel some strong storms into our region. Now, by and large, the severe weather outbreak will likely be to our southwest, so not involving us. However, there may be just enough energy in the atmosphere for us to see some of these stronger storms. The National Weather Service agrees. They have issued a 2 out of 5 slight risk of severe weather that covers about a third of our counties, just south and west of Louisville for the moment. Expect some changes, of course, with that severe weather outlook as we get closer to time. After we get through those storms on late Tuesday into early Wednesday, we'll see temperatures moderate back closer to normal, guys.
All right, thanks so much, Ryan. We've spent the week looking back at John Boel's decades in TV news. When we come back, we're going to have what his family thinks about his future.
President's Day sale, only at Ashley.
Just a few more minutes now until I end my news career after more than 40 years in broadcast journalism.
Just down to minutes, and Wave Sunrise anchor Shannon Cogan talked with John's family about his future.
Brenda and John Boel have been together for 42 years, married for 38. No one knows him better.
When he told you, I'm going to retire, what did you think?
I did not believe him because it's just in his DNA. This is what he does.
Now that his time on TV is nearing an end, she has a hard time picturing what his retirement will look like.
I really can't wrap my arms around seeing it for him because of just, it's like he's a journalist and how's he going to change?
25-year-old daughter Brianna, who's studying to be a doctor, says she has an idea of what he'll be doing.
I honestly think he's going to fish probably every day. Maybe more than once a day.
The Bulls are moving from Louisville, their home for the last 36 years, to southern Wisconsin.
I feel like family's always been really, really, really important to him.
John's dad and sister live there.
They're just so close. I mean, they love spending time together. So I know his dad is thrilled. And so he's been asking me like, did you pack yet?
And his daughter Kelsey and her husband Adam and their 3 adorable children, Josiah, Calvin, and Liesel.
What are you most excited about doing with Papa?
Going bowling.
Going bowling? What, anything else?
Arcade.
Going to the arcade?
Making a snowman.
Mm-hmm.
You want to play with Papa? Are you going to play kitchen with him?
Yeah.
Are you going to play baby dolls with him?
Yeah.
Are you going to put makeup on him?
Yeah.
It's like he's a whole different person. I love that around those grandkids. You just see the joy come out in him.
The Bulls have slowly been packing. What about those 106 Emmys he's won?
We don't have that many because he's really done a great job of giving them away to people that are in his stories.
Brenda says she's looking forward to their future.
I'm excited for me because I want to be able to spend time with him.
Shannon Cogan, Wave News.
That's not fair bringing my grandkids into it. You guys
so
finally broke me.
Well, and to see John, when he tells stories of his grandkids, he lights up. And we have some special guests here today. Look at this.
This is Calvin. Hey, Calvin.
Hi, guys.
Hi, Dad. This is Kelsey
so
and Adam.
You guys.
Oh my gosh. This is Josiah. How you doing? Thank you for coming out. You ever been on a news set before?
Hi.
No.
How are you? So nice to meet you.
This is where I've been doing the news for 40 years. You know what I do? I look into that teleprompter and I read the words. That's why you got to be a good reader. Okay? And we do stories. You like to, Mommy and Daddy read you stories, right? Mm-hmm.
Isn't this so cool to see what your grandpa does every day?
Mm-hmm. Come to work day.
I didn't think you guys could make it. Oh, thank you.
John is so proud of his family. When he talks about you, Kelsey and Brianna, he lights up, and I know his grandbabies mean the world to him as well. Yeah.
We're so excited to have him around us.
Yeah, so you can see I have a lot to live for, right?
Yeah.
And I happened my dad and my sister, and we're going to have so much fun. Didn't we have fun ice fishing? Right? We did. And I noticed you said arcade. How come you always say arcade every time? Every time.
Yeah, I don't know if he's your fishing guy.
No, this is my fishing guy. This is the guy when we were ice fishing who looked at me and said, why are we out here standing on this ice? And I said, that's a really good question.
And Brenda and Brianna are here too. We just adore your family, John. They've become our family. And we're so grateful that you allowed us to be a part of their lives by sharing all the photos and the funny stories.
How did you pull this off?
We threw the 3 sick kids in the car and drove.
Yeah, we're all going to get sick now, and I couldn't think of a better ending. All right.
We're going to be right back.
Kia stores.
We're going to end tonight. We're going to end tonight with a breaking editorial from me about family. There are various types of families. You just saw mine step in and surprise me and make me cry. That's one kind. There's another kind, your work family, my TV family, who's out here too. And there's a third, our viewing family, you guys. And I just want to thank you for allowing me to be your voice, coming to me, trusting me with your problems. I want to thank my TV family for allowing me to live out my dream career. If I had to do it all over again, I'd do the same thing. And I want to thank my family, DNA family here, for always loving me no matter what, because I've stumbled a bunch in my life. And they've always loved me. So thank you for letting me serve you. And I'll keep serving these guys.
We are going to miss you so much.
Thank you. I'm going to miss you too.
All right. Love you, John.
Love you too.
All right.
Congrats, John.
Congrats.
Congratulations, John.
Knightley's next.
Night next.
We'll see you at 7. Good night, everybody.
Get live streaming news, 24-hour weather, investigations, podcasts, and more, all for free with Wade Now. Watch on Roku, Amazon Fire, Apple TV, and the Wade News app. Sponsored by Circle K. Fuel you can trust.